Okay guys, in my last video I did not get to tell you what I wanted to. I thought about it. I had a hard time with this final drive housing, and I think most people do. To get to this brake, you got to separate this. Okay? If you're going to change the brake on your driver's side of your tractor, Farmall A, B, BN, Super A, I think too, because my suggestion to you, if I did this over again, this is what I would do. I would separate this housing from this housing with it still attached to the tractor. First thing to do, undo your bolts, pound this pin out, support it underneath. Make sure you have enough room on the side of your tractor. When you get these bolts done, start with a putty knife, nice and easy to separate it. Lube it up really good. Support it, work it away out, leave this housing attached to the tractor. When you pull this out, the drum's going to come with it, the brake band's going to come with it, and the drive shaft that's inside this housing that goes to your differential. Pull this whole thing out, making sure you have enough room. Then come back, unbolt this housing from there to change the seal. If you're just going to change the seal, just pull the whole thing off. If you're going to change your brake band, separate it here first before separating it over here. That's my suggestion. If I did this again, that's what I'd do. After you do what I just described, when you go to put it back on a tractor, take this housing off. I mean, you want to take this housing off, check your seal, put it back together like you've seen in my update video number 12. Then after you change your brake band and all that stuff, clean it all up, sand up your drum, then put the whole unit on as a whole. Okay, I want to make sure I make that clear too. You can't line up anything with, you got to be able to finagle the drive shaft into the differential. So that's what I do, guys. Lucky me, I got a daughter that makes me gaskets. So I cleaned up the covers, wire wheel, and put some Permatex non-hardening sealant on. I like putting sealant on all my gaskets. These bolts go all the way into the casting, and there is oil. I mean, it's, the bull gear and everything. So I want to put a little sealant around everything. Probably going to leak around the through the bolt, through the threads, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not worried about these ever. They came off really nice. They're nice and clean. Squeeze it out, clean it up with some mineral spirits. Torque them down to the recommendation. I'm going to do that on this cover and that cover down there. Everything's pretty much the same. Got my pan cleaned up. Brake cleaned all the surfaces on my pan. Them are good. Surfaces are clean down here too. Cleaned up my bolts. Wire wheeled them. Chased all the threads in the housing. My beautiful daughter Morgan made me new gaskets. So I'm going to put this together. And I'm going to put a little bit of anti-seize lubricant on the bolt threads using cork, because I think cork was what was supposed to be put on it. I'm not sure. But I'm treating it as though it's the oil pan. Just like it's the oil pan. Okay, I get these started. So I'm going to run these down. Alright, cleaned up all my threads and bolts with a die. And now I had to use new lock washers because the other ones were just flat, so they were no more good. So I am going to put on everything as I go little anise. Lock washer. Oh. I'm going to spray this whole tractor off, of course, before I prime it. Got that. The bolt face inwards, or I should say the nut space inwards. So I'm going to be doing this on all of them. And then I'm going to torque them down to what the recommendation is from the book. So, got this all cleaned up. I got to take the 2 bolts off the bottom for this housing too. And then I'm going to sandblast little areas and try to clean them up a little better. But this side of the housing, for some reason, compared to the other one, has a lot more, I guess you could say it's a lot rougher. I don't know what the deal is with that. The other side was pretty smooth, but there's like a lot of casting material or whatever when they poured it. So, alright, that's where I am right now. Chase the threads in my differential for my pan. Alright, going to put the other pan on. Gasket. I'm going to do like the other side. I'm going to hang it. Anise on all these and snug them up as tight as that I think is right, and go from there. Well, yesterday I sandblasted the whole thing. Sandblasted the pits and stuff, but the wheel weights really caused me problems. You can still see the outline right here. It was so rusted. It's not my intention to use body filler anywhere, but sometimes you got to do it. Got a bunch of grease and stuff I got to clean out from under here. Tough spot to get at. Hopefully I don't see that again. Sandblasted. Got the numbers to show up. Also, I got the underside cleaned up really well. I got my bowl gear covers covered up so when I start flying, and them are already primed so I don't want to mess them up, but I got this pretty clean. I can get the drawbar on and the drawbar off. That bolt was broke when I got the tractor, and I'm still contemplating on what to do here. By God, I could put that drawbar right back on and just turn my head and say forget it, but we'll see. I don't want to heat this up. I don't want to add heat to this, and the only thing I think that can be done, no easy out's going to work. I've used easy outs in the past. They snap off every single time, and they're even harder than the bolt you're trying to get out. That's why they're so brittle. And then you end up drilling and drilling and drilling the easy out. It just, I'd rather not use an easy out on that. If it can't come out, then an easy out ain't going to get it out. Clean the tube and the engine, and then I'm going to have my daughter make a gasket for my cover, and I should be moving on to priming the whole chassis here. So I'm going to brag a bit. This steering wheel is perfect. There's not a crack in it. So there that know or have any play like this in yours, if you're watching my channel, give me a comment. Let me know. One thing I am noticing on this one that I bought, used, of course it's used, it comes up back here. It comes up back here like it's bent up. Mine, the one that came on the tractor, is flat. Doesn't come up. You can see the ball bearing in there is pushed in further. This one is out more. There's some play this way. So I need to investigate this, find out what the deal is. Maybe out of the two I can take the best parts and get me a really good shifter.